Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Fatal Frame 2. I'm your host CPC Gamer, and in the last video, we made it to Kurosawa House, the final part of the game. And then, fairly predictably, I got called away to work, thus giving me another week's worth of delays, thus making this the longest time it has taken me to record a single game for the internet. Although with that said, this is kinda how I play video games in my leisure time, which hasn't actually happened for quite a long time, I must admit. I'll play the game normally, but then when I get to the end, usually the last boss or the save point at the beginning of the final dungeon, at that point I won't play anymore. Largely on account of, well, I get really attached to things really quickly, so I get the feeling that I'll miss the characters. You know, if I go into the final dungeon and I complete the final boss, then I don't get to see Fran and Pinello anymore. Or Garnet. Or Lulu. Or Renoa. Or Kara. Or Celes. Or you get the idea, right? So anyway, we're not actually going where we need to go necessarily. We need to go to the family altar room. That's another ghost that I always have trouble catching. So glad that I did it, now that I'm recording it. Yeah, we do need to go to the family altar room. It's the one where we fought one of the veiled priests. The one with all the lamps in it. But, well, we're not going to go there just yet, because there's some exploration to be had. It's cool, it's cool. Mayo's going to wait for us. It's no big deal. One of the advantages, though, of going to work and getting all these experiences outside of video games, I do actually have some stories to tell you, which means that I can talk about that rather than just going, and now we go down this corridor, and then we go to that corridor, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's kind of surprising that a lot of the stories I have to tell come from... Okay, I suppose I should give you a bit of backstory. I work at TK Maxx, or TJ Maxx if you're American, or TJX if you're European. Go figure. Anyways, it's a clothing store for the most part, and most of my stories come from the fitting rooms, which is kind of bizarre because I really don't like the fitting rooms. I'm not comfortable on them at all. And I said that to the boss who took me through my training. I'm not comfortable on the fitting rooms. She took it to mean that I don't know what I'm doing, so I need to go there some more. I actually do feel physically unwell on the fitting rooms, and I really can't place it. I have run out of interesting things to say about this ghost. I'll be honest with you, I thought that I was done with her after that fight in the Osaka house wherein I stole her crest. And now I get to feel a bit like X the Eliminator, which causes me to comically misfire my shots. Brilliant. There we go, it's more like it. So yeah, stories from work. One day, not long after we opened, the boss decided that somebody was meant to be working the fitting rooms, but he didn't actually tell the person who was meant to be on the fitting rooms. He didn't actually tell anyone, for that matter. So about 9:30 rolls around, we've been open for half an hour, and we realise, well, people are coming and going from the fitting rooms, we should probably put someone on there. We go to the fitting rooms and find that somebody is already on there. A customer had taken it upon themselves to check customers' items in and out and distribute the "you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items" tags, and it's kind of nice that if society collapses, people will automatically instigate red tape. It's quite nice. So, in the Grand Hall, this room here, well, this is one of my favourite fights in the game. You know, if I can position myself correctly. And if these ghosts want to show themselves. Well, you can't see it, necessarily, because the game doesn't want to make them visible, but there are actually 4 or 5 ghosts here. Literally. The base number is 4, but on occasion the game will throw in ghost number 5. Mostly just to screw with you. It's kind of great because you get to rack up insane combos and point scores I should say. And it also gives me a chance to go, say, any of you guys know how to Madison? Hey, there it is. Alright, hands up how many of you guys thought I'd forgotten that I was doing the whole Rocky Horror thing. Or, at the very least, had hoped that I had outgrown it. So, I suppose I should probably explain it. The ghost list for this fight is the Limbo Man times some number, and the Limbo Woman times 1. And my controller is rumbling like a boss. I wonder where she is. Right behind me is where she is. Thanks for that, game. Thank you for also not taking a picture of her right there. That's one of the things that I don't like about this game. The camera is really, really picky. Like, even though you're focused on a ghost, it doesn't necessarily say that you're focused on a ghost, if you see what I mean. Anyhow, with that done, we're going to stay in the camera viewfinder mode for a little bit, take a picture of the sunken fireplace, and we find the crazy laughing girl, who currently is known as the Repentance. One last little bonus whilst we're in here. If we go to this little cupboard to the north, if I can find the door and open the cupboard to the north, we have the last spirit orb in the game. And apparently a hidden ghost. This is news to me. Oh hey, that's... what's his name? Well, I'll say what's his name. That's Masami Makimura. His name is right there. That's the surveyor that we found about pretty much as soon as we entered the village. That's a nice little bonus. Alrighty, the next location is the Master's Room, which is on the 2nd floor of the house. Right, while I'm doing this, more stories. Well, as of right now, it is the 1st of August, and... well, we've already started putting up all the back-to-school stuff at work, which... do you remember when you were a kid and back to school was just about the single most annoying and offensive phrase in the world? Like, you'd been at school for 100 million years, and when they finally give you a couple of days off, the first thing they do is tell you that you're going back to school. That was the worst thing in the world. Now, if my notes are correct and the game has sort of stopped screwing with me, there should be a little something in this room. There it is. Hydrated copper silicate. Again, I'm going to be putting all of these in a bonus video at the end. I mostly just wanted an excuse to say a long word phrase. And while we're up here, I think I mentioned it... well, no, I did mention it in an earlier video. I completely forget which one. If you missed... what was it called now? The Doll Stand Shadow? Or something like that? You can actually go and get it now. There's also another ghost in the room, which is why I'm heading for the ghost room. The ghost room? The doll room. Dolls and ghosts are subtly interchangeable, right? Ah, whatever. So yeah, if we go into this room right here, doll stand shadow's down there if you want it. And you remember when we came in here earlier, we found Mayu is her name? Just to show how long I've been away from this game. We found Mayu hiding behind this screen. There we go. If we come here now, we can take a picture. And it turns out we were actually seeing Sai. And Sai is still there, still waiting for us to find her. Alrighty, that's it for distractions, as far as I can tell. Now, we're going to go and get our sister. So, I'm going to go back to where we need to go. Probably just ramble on about work in the meantime. You can, I don't know, go get yourself a sandwich, or just do whatever. Not entirely sure how I'm going to tackle the final part of the game, because, well, as we'll see in the next video, it's pretty ridiculous. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, if memory serves, we can actually take a bit of a shortcut, he says, putting on his tour guide hat. This is one of the things that got me, and is perhaps why I was attacked so very frequently during the first time I played this game. I kind of forgot that this room could be used as sort of a shortcut between the two upper portions of the house. Largely because going through that door tends to spawn a couple of man in the dark. I really am not comfortable leaving that as a singular when it really should be a plural. Whatever the case, this is more or less where we need to be. And we've got another bizarre scene as Mayu. As far as I know, I don't think we've actually seen this map, which is fairly interesting, although we are actually going to be seeing it soon enough, if we haven't seen it. Like I say, we're coming up on pretty much having explored most of the game at this point, and the only thing left to find is, well, the final boss's corridor, but I'm getting a bit ahead of myself now, so hey, I should probably stop. Oh no, tell a lie. We've seen this place before. This is actually where we're heading. Which, again, if you've been playing these games, you'll probably know that we need to go wherever it is Mayu goes in these bizarre dream sequences.
Let's do this together.
Now, I'm honestly not too sure, but to me, it sounds like the speech didn't quite match up with the subtitles to that one. It sounded like, let's go do this together. Or let's both do this together. Either way, I'm going to have to check that out in post, because that's going to bug me. Okay, if my character will stop skidding around, this is where we need to go. I think. Though I'm honestly not too sure. I will be honest with you, I'm probably just going to end up in the basement or back outside again. And if that's the case, I'll just cut to where I need to be, and then we'll see you in the next video. One of the things that I've demonstrated in this particular series is that I'm not very good at geography. Kind of like how in Katamari I showed you that I'm bad at maths. In this one I've shown off just how I'm bad at geography. Or maybe not. Now, even though I've been running, and I do advocate running, you want to walk down this part, and that's why. He says, taking a picture of a bush. There we go. As far as I know, it's the same ghost whether you walk down the left side or the right-hand side. So, I mean, no worries either way.
I kept waiting and waiting.
And you can't actually take a picture of that one. The game takes control of the camera for you. Alrighty, inside the shrine, you want to pick up the Type 61 film, and if you have enough of it, or even if you don't have enough of it, you'll want to equip the Type 90 film, and we'll see why in the next episode. You'll also want to save. And while we do this, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. So until next time, goodbye.